All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Friday, December 30th, 2022, and quite predictably, they say they've arrested the suspect of the November 13th killings at the University of Idaho. And if you've missed the work I've been doing on this, we've even called the police department on a live stream to give them the information we had. But again, this entire thing's rolled out by the numbers, by the same old code that we talk about each day. And here we are 47 days later, and the police say they've arrested the suspect. And again, if you're new here, typically I'm in my office. I'm not in the office right now because I don't have a desk, but I moved recently. But for years in the background of my office was this license plate. What is 47? And I've been educating about the significance of news media, government, authorities, and the rituals they perform with 47 about a gazillion times. It's not an accident that in the United States of America, a nation founded by people from secret societies, the nation's birthday is the 4th day of the 7th month. Again, gematria. If you look at this license plate, the top part has this word gematria, which comes from Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism. In the traditional gematria, which comes from Hebrew, 47 is the number that represents the tetragrammaton, which is the four-letter name of God from the Old Testament. So the number has a lot to do with God. And in Kabbalah, there's a evil half to it that has to do with having control and influence over others, which is essentially playing God. And again, in this code of gematria, all of these things equal 47. Government, authority, policeman, time, Republican, Democrat, President, White House, names like Trump. And again, even Biden, who's in office right now, he was in D.C. for 47 years before he became president. That's why Trump was saying, I've done more in 47 months than he's done in 47 years. In case you forgot that headline, here it is right here. But again and again, just the same old stuff. And by the way, the word news also equals 47. That's another 47 word. News. Another 47 word. Christian. You know, you're supposed to believe everything in the book printed by man who says it's the word of God. Again, if you're new here, take a minute to think about all these things. Pay attention to what I'm saying, and you'll start to see how often 47 is in the news, inserted in the story. If you just count the days and in the distance from this last detail to this updated detail, it's just the same thing again and again and again. You know, it's not arbitrary that Donald Trump, when he won in 2016, was in the 47-story Midtown Hilton Hotel the night he won, as they reported it, as he became president. But again, Biden was also the 47th vice president who took office with 47-year-old Obama. Again, this number, 47, is the number that the authorities use, and the word authority equals 47, day after day to program our minds. And as we know, with news programming, that's what they often say, back to your regularly scheduled programming. Again, nothing about this story's made sense from day one. It might be an entire load of BS. Again, one day they even put out the detail that there was so much blood it leaked through the siding of the house. I mean, that's literally impossible. So, I mean, if they're putting out fake details to the story just to fill up the news cycle for that day, is any of the story real? And again, for people who weren't here in the beginning, just things you need to know. On the same day, they said this killing was November 13th. They also said the killing at the University of Virginia, the football players, the Cavaliers, from coast to coast, was also November 13th, but both stories broke on November 14th, which was a Monday. And they both broke on King Charles's 74th birthday. Of course, 74 is the reflection of 47. The first video I ever uploaded to YouTube that stayed on YouTube was about the numbers 47 and 74. And again, I mean, the same numbers over and over. But with regards to both stories coming out on King Charles's 74th birthday, again, he's the first English monarch of Russian ancestry. This is in Moscow, Idaho, a town spelled the same way as Moscow, Russia. And then, of course, the University of Virginia Cavaliers killings. Again, Cavaliers come from King Charles. The people who fought for King Charles in the English Civil War were Cavaliers. So 3 people killed at the University of Virginia, 4 people killed at University of Idaho, 3 and 4. The word murder equals 34. They said all the killings at the University of Idaho were between 3 and 4 in the morning. Again, you learn gematria, you start to see through all of these rituals and how redundant these patterns and numbers are. But from November 13th to today, December 30th, 47 days later. And with regards to the police making this big announcement on the 30th, don't forget that in gematria, police equals 30. Kind of like how you had the New York subway shooting, and they said it took them 30 hours to catch the shooter. So, anyhow, here's your latest What is 47 example, and hopefully my desk will come. I ordered a desk in September. It was supposed to be here in weeks, and then they kept pushing back the date. Now they tell me it'll be here in the middle of this month, so eventually I'll go back to the office and not be broadcasting from the kitchen. But, and I'll also get the What is 47 thing back up behind me on the bookshelf. But anyway, what is 47? It is the number of the Kabbalistic authority that rules over us, that performs ritual after ritual after ritual with the same old repetitive code that's been going on since the establishment of the nation by the same secret societies that rule over us. And again, everyone should ask, they put us in 13 years of slave school, pledging to the 13 stripes in the nation that came out of 13 colonies. We don't really ever think about the numbers or how we were made to go to 13 years of slave school. But isn't it amazing all the omissions in our history book that should be there? Why is there no mention of any of the secret societies that all the founding members were members of? Again, D.C. is known as the Masonic city, and it's the city the Jesuits have been in for longer than the federal government, where the Jesuits created modern Freemasonry. How come we don't learn anything about Jesuits or Masons in our upbringing? By the way, the Jesuits work on behalf of the Catholic Church, thus all the Roman architecture, and of course Vatican also equals 47. And again, if you're new here, gematria is very simple. It's the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z is 26. The alphabetic order in reverse. Z is 1 back to A is 26. And then both orders with the rules numerology. So there's 4 base ciphers. President, White House, government authority, Republican, Whig, Democrat, D.C., even the letters in the federal city. Trump, with his big quote, I've done more in 47 months than he's done in 47 years, talking about the 47th vice president, who again took office with 47-year-old Obama. And by the way, the Masons laid the cornerstone for D.C. on September 18th, 1793, a date with 47 numerology. And again, not arbitrarily. Words like time equal 47 again. News 47. The tropics of this earth, which measure the time at 23.5 degrees north and 23.5 degrees south, 47 degrees. And again, who laid out D.C.? The French Freemason L'Enfant. France equals 47. Who came to power in France? The Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Where were the Jesuits who created the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry from? France. So, and again, Europe is the continent that was ruled over by the Catholic Church before their rule spread to the rest of the world, because of course Europe's pretty much colonized the entire world. So anyhow, 47 days later, and we got that suspect arrested, and then we have a lot of half-woke people's newer hero Andrew Tate arrested 47 days after the Superior General's birthday. Of course, the Superior General is the leader of the Jesuits, Arturo Sosa, born November 12th, 1948, who happens to be 74 right now. But again, half-woke people are people who think Donald Trump is a hero, Elon Musk is a hero, Andrew Tate is a hero. They're half-woke because they know things are wrong, but they still haven't figured out that to make it on TV, to be a social media influencer, you have to be in the club. Otherwise, you're shadow banned and you're definitely not invited on Tucker Carlson primetime. And of course, Andrew Tate's kind of been the internet sensation ever since he went on Tucker Carlson back on August 25th. And we'll talk about why it was that date and how it factors in with his arrest by the numbers. But where to begin? There's a lot to this little numerical riddle. Perhaps we'll start with how Andrew Tate in Gematria does have the 666 Sumerian value, just like vaccination. For people who are new here, your first COVID simulation, CladeX, May 15th, 2018, was exactly 666 days before the pandemic was declared. And you had to have the vax, the 666, if you wanted to buy or sell in a lot of places, just like the riddle out of Revelation 13. But anyhow, Andrew Tate does have the 666 Sumerian value, just taking the alphabetic order and multiplying it times 6. 666 is the 36th triangular number. He just turned 36 at the beginning of the month on December 1st. And when he went viral was August 25th, his Tucker Carlson Tonight primetime. Everyone's pretty much been talking about him ever since then. But yeah, and again, the half-woke people think Tucker Carlson's the truth. I mean, Tucker Carlson represents why we are where we are. Tucker Carlson denounced everybody back when he was on CNN who questioned 9/11. Spent a lot of time attacking anybody questioning 9/11, making it sound like you were some kind of idiot if you would think your government would have anything to do with attacking itself. And now all the half-woke people, they think Tucker Carlson is, the messiah of the nightly news. Anyhow, these people are all in the club, and they're all playing their part to keep everybody locked in the box. Tucker Carlson thinks or promotes the idea that politics is going to save you. If we just stop voting for those Democrats, man, the world would be saved overnight. Oh, never mind, the Republicans were in control of everything when the COVID pandemic walked in, not to mention other people's savior, Donald Trump. What did he do? Oh, he declared Operation Warp Speed on the 2-year anniversary of CladeX, the day that the Romans celebrate Mercury, that oh-so-harmful ingredient. Anyway, number of the beast, 258, like Order of Illuminati. On 25/8, Mr. 666 is going viral on Tucker Carlson Tonight. On Fox, the 666 network. Again, 666 is the 36th triangular number. And for the record, another 47 word is beast. So is Vatican, so is authority, so is government, so is Christian, the religion that teaches about the number of the beast. But again, this does come 47 days after the Superior General's birthday, the leader of the Jesuits, and that matters because 1229 is year after year an important day to the Jesuits. If you missed my videos yesterday on all the stories on 1229, I actually took the video off Gematria Effect News 25 and moved it to Gematria Effect News 22, just because they did something funny to it on 25. They put it behind the age restriction, and then they also made it so you couldn't download the video. And usually when those things happen, next thing I know, a day or two later, I'm getting a strike for the video. So I care less if they strike Gematria Effect News 22. So that video that I did yesterday on all the 201 stories on 1229, that video's up on Gematria Effect News 22. Anyhow, it was 1229. 1229 is the 201st prime. If you're new here, that's the number of the Jesuits, the number of the Illuminati. Again, the Illuminati was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt, who died in history 201 days after the anniversary of its establishment, like how the first Jesuit pope is Pope Francis and the first to live in Suite 201. And of course, Messi, the big story about him staying separate from the rest of his team in Suite 201. DK Stonewood also caught that the photo they showed in his room, there was another man laying in the bed. So, Mbappe is dating a transgender, and Messi staying separate in room 201 with another man in his bed. Interesting. The price of fame is high. Anyhow, we know there's 201s all over the LGBTQ agenda. And anyhow, in light of him being arrested in Romania, I had to look who the leader of Romania is, and lo and behold, look at what day he's born. The leader of Romania is born on June 13th, another day full of Jesuit rituals because it's the day leaving 201 days left in the year. So I'm like, okay, Andrew Tate arrested in Romania on the 201 date in a land where the leader is Mr. 201. And most of the headlines describe that Andrew and Tristan Tate were arrested, his brother. The gematria of their names is 129. 129 is directly related to 201 because 129 is 201 in base 8 counting, just like how Georgetown equals 129, the first Jesuit university, whereas the Jesuit order is 201. So, go figure. And I did a Google search for Romania Jesuits just to see what came up. How interesting. June 13th, 2019, the day leaving 201 days left in the year, the president's birthday. In Romania, the Jesuits devote themselves to the exercises in spiritual direction, blah, blah, blah. But how funny that that article's written on the day leaving 201 days left in the year. And then also this year, Pope Francis directed a message to Romania. The first Jesuit Pope from room 201 on the day leaving 201 days left in the year on the leader's birthday. Again, all across the world, you guys, the Jesuits are the New World Order. They are the Illuminati. We're on their language, which is the English language. We're on their calendar, which is named after the Catholic Pope. Anyway, in light of Andrew Tate getting arrested on the 29th, the name Andrew's also 29. And then notice, this happened on a Thursday in Romania. Again, the Catholic Church venerates Jupiter, which is the day Thursday is named after. Thor's day, Jupiter, the lightning planet. Thor, Zeus, the lightning god. Anyhow, Catholic Romania Thursday, both 35 forwards, 46 in reverse, like JFK, the first Catholic president, number 35, assassinated at age 46, like Joe Biden, the second Catholic president, number 46, elected 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday, inaugurated on the Pope's 35th day of his age. Notice also how sex trafficking, what he's arrested for, has Gematria 71, like Romania. Somehow he's already back on his Twitter account. He must have posted bail. He's spamming away. Sign up for my account to break you out of the matrix, to give you the red pill to become a millionaire. That's literally how Andrew Tate promotes himself. It's like, I don't think when you take the red pill, you want to like make your whole life about money. I'm pretty sure that's all part of the matrix. Anyway, sex trafficking, Romania, 71. Notice how Jesuitism in Romania is also an overlap. Notice how human trafficking and rape. Some headlines say he was arrested for sex trafficking. Others phrase it as human trafficking and rape. Human trafficking and rape jumps out in a big way. 112, what's his birthday? The first day of the 12th month, 112. What is it about the Jesuits in 112? Again, they operate in 112 nations. Seems like we're talking about the same things every day. Again, Catholicism and mathematics both have the Gematria 112 in the most simple cipher, the exact same in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. There's a lot more to say about all that, but anyhow, notice how mathematics also has the 40 and 68 like rape does. Rape's 40 and 68, and then rape's also 22 and 23. And all the half-woke people, their hero just got arrested at the end of 2022, and now the story's going to carry into 2023. Guess where his house is? Bucharest. Bucharest equals 56 like Society of Jesus, also equals 97 like his full name, Emery Andrew Tate III, 97, Roman Catholicism, 97. And he's already speaking out and back in the headlines. And again, look at all the cops around him when they arrested him. Oh, did I put the picture? I mean, how cold was it there? Is this how the Romania police roll? They always like totally masked. The only faces you can make out are the 2 brothers. Again, did they even get arrested, or is this another contrived Hollywood scene? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I mean, the police are part of the Hollywood news script, always using the authorities to give us the false narratives by the numbers. Just like what we're talking about in Moscow, Idaho. But yeah, isn't it interesting how you can't make out any of the cops' faces in the thing? Must have just been freezing cold there. I can see the cameramen aren't all masked up like that, but their faces are blocked out with the cameras. Cameras all over, straight Hollywood. What do you mean Andrew Tate's not a hero? He's speaking out, man. We gotta support Elon Musk and Trump. Half-woke people, man. They don't get it. They don't get it. For all the half-woke people, you know who'd be on the news if it wasn't all bullshit? Yours truly. You know why? Because no one has more correct predictions. The news media is putting out Nostradamus' predictions for 2023. Who cares? How about not cover the guy who's nailed everything for the last decade? Oh, man. They don't put out truth on the news. Tucker Carlson doesn't cover anyone who's real. He covers every last agent. He just had Andy Ngo on the news the other night. Andy Ngo with his British accent who claims to be from Portland, Oregon. The same Andy Ngo who had his film crew there to film me getting bear maced in the face with Antifa so he could put it on his own website to promote his book. Why not have somebody who's actually from Portland on the news? Notice I don't have a British accent because I'm actually from there. Andy Ngo had to skip back to Britain to escape America because he was afraid of Antifa. It's like, oh, he's taking a long vacation in Britain, which is his actual real home. Okay. Anyway, it's amazing how people don't get it. The media hates Trump. The media hates Trump? The media has made Donald Trump the headline story every day since he announced he was running for president in 2015. If the media hated Trump, they wouldn't cover him. There'd be a blackout. You'd never hear anything about him. And he would have never won the 2016 election, which he probably didn't, because every last election's rigged. They put him in there for the divisive character that he is. All these people that they promote are divisive. Half-woke people, man. It is amazing. If you haven't figured out that everything on TV is a lie in the nightly news, it's a compliment to even call you half-woke, because really your head's way up your ass. So, Andrew Tate, who comes from the rigged UFC, now the truther. And again, this is also why they promote people like this, and they do. It's not that they're not having him say things that aren't true, but this is also why they promote a guy like this. Because now the guy who was saying things that were partly true, now what's he look like? Oh, another one of those guys who questions government and authority, and look, it turns out he's a human sex trafficker and rapist. This is why they do what they do. Now, I can just imagine the whole Seattle crowd today. See, those conservatives, they're all evil people. All those conservatives are evil people like Andrew Tate, like Donald Trump. You know. This is why they do what they do. And all the dummies just can't figure it out, you know. Okay, so why are we hearing about Trump's tax returns finally? You know, the word tax has Gematria 45, RIP to Trump's ex-wife who died this year in the huge Jesuit ritual, which we covered on July 14th, 45 years after their marriage, going with a million other 45 rituals with Trump. And it's the same old trend with Trump news on Friday, too. Friday's the day of the week with the 45 connection. So tax 45, Friday 45, number 45. Here comes his tax returns. They're now public. And they waited until he was age 76. You know, this nation founded on the idea of no taxation without representation back in 1776. But he's 76 years old, and now we get to see his federal tax returns. Excuse me. And don't forget Berlin Wall equals 45 too, like how they called this guy the president-elect on the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Taxes also has the Gematria 30, like it's the 30th of the month. But again, Trump's born in 46, like Bush and Clinton. Big Catholic number. We're in the time of number 46 right now, and of course number 46, Joe Biden's saying, like, I don't have a problem showing my tax returns. I don't have a problem showing my tax returns. So go figure that today's 199 days after Trump's birthday, the 46th prime number. And I'm sure Biden will have some statement on it if he doesn't already. But yeah, the other main thing is, again, that we had to wait. Because it's been going on the whole time, right? It's been ongoing stories from like 2015. Trump is hiding his federal tax returns. And again, it's just more bullshit, too. Because it's like, wait a minute. If you're so worried about hiding your federal tax returns, then that means you do have something to hide, so that gives people a reason to have suspicion about you. But then the other time, it's like, well, why are people... And again, that's why they do all these prying stories, or divisive stories, I mean. And then other people are prying, like, why do you want to know so much about his finances? You know? Well, I want to know if he's a good, honest person. I want to know if he pays his taxes. Does it make you a good, honest person if you pay your taxes? Might make you like a ignorant person, an ignoramus, if you're just so happy to pay your taxes, because what are you paying your money to? Are you not paying your money to a criminal government that props up fascist enterprises like Walmart, that puts local community businesses out, as it's been doing for decades, as it's taken over the nation? Yeah, you're doing that. Are you not paying for a military that unjustly bombs and attacks always darker complected nations, blames them for the U.S.'s false flag operations? I don't think you're a good person if you pay your taxes. You pay your taxes, you're participating in the crimes. And I'll be honest, you know, there was a long period of time where I was not paying my taxes, but I got to admit, you know, ever since I had auditors come out here and crawl up my ass and the FBI come out to my house, I've been trying to minimize my taxes to the best of my ability, and I've done a pretty good job at that, but even me for the last few years, has been paying his taxes. And I don't feel good about it, but I am being forthright. I'm just making the point. What would be nice is if we all stood up like I did for a number of years and just say, I'm not paying any more taxes to this criminal government. I'm being self-employed. I'm working cash businesses. I'm not letting Big Brother track what I'm doing. And of course, that's also why they're moving everything to electronic currency so they can track every last penny. But yeah, we had to wait till he was 76 to see his federal tax returns, and then they do it by the numbers. And the whole time he was in office, I kept talking about why the favorite day for the media to attack Trump and always have the big Trump whopper headlines is Friday is because of this ongoing 45 pattern. And we did cover this in real time yesterday in the stream we were doing on Pele, but a lot of people didn't see that. They said, hey, did you see that Vivienne Westwood died? For all the people out there who asked that question, who probably also won't watch this far into this stream and will leave another comment, hey, did you see the death of Vivienne Westwood? Yeah, I did. And people pointed out, again, shout out to the community because they caught this right away. She's dead at 81. We call that the ritual number, just like how Bob Marley lost his grandson on the 81 date numerology earlier in the week, like Bob Marley died in the year 81. But 81 was the year that she put out her The World's End boutique. And remember, the word end equals 23, and here we are on the verge of 2023. And I did notice that her name also has some interesting gematria. Vivienne Westwood goes with World's End boutique. And again, she died on the 12/29 date. The Jesuit order is 201. Their motto, Isus Hominum Salvator, is 266. Again, Pope Francis is the first Jesuit pope, the first to live in Suite 201. Andy's the 266th pope. She died on her 266th day of her age on 12/29, the 201st prime. So, my guess is the Jesuits are behind this one as well. And, but yeah, it is pretty creepy. Her clothing line, The World's End in 81, and then Dead at 81. And I guess the other thing to say is that was related to her pirate collection. Remember who the pirates are that matter. They are the Skull and Bones members. Again, Skull and Bones gets their symbolism from how the Knights Templar buried their dead in an ossuary, and the Knights Templar became pirates after they were burned at the stake in France. And again, 2023, end equals 23, but it'll be the year that Yale turns 322 years old, established in 1701, where Skull and Bones is. That infamous secret society that's all-powerful, connected to pirates. And again, I mean, we're in a nation that's on maritime law, the law of the sea, pirates. But, yeah, all this stuff factors in. It's just like the founder of the Illuminati died on the 322nd day of the year, 201 days after his birthday. Skull and Bones identifies by the number 322. Their secret society, the name of it, equals 201 in Gematria. Like the movie about it, starring Paul Walker, came out 201 days after his birthday. Again, he got the red Porsche in the film. He dies in the mysterious red Porsche crash 5 years to the day of George Herbert Walker Bush dying, who was a member of Skull and Bones, so on and so forth. So, anyhow, I'm pretty sure that's why she's dead at 81, right before the start of 2023. And we know what happens every year on Christmas, or not Christmas, well, Christmas Eve too, but New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, there's always some more suspicious celebrity deaths. So, I'm sure we'll be busy here for the next 48 hours with more twisted little death riddles. But speaking of those pesky Jesuits, somebody left a comment to my Pele video yesterday saying, did you know that his brother had died in the recent past at age 77? And I did not know that. And notice the news broke of Pele's brother's passing on March 26th. If you go back and look, that's when the news broke. He actually died the day before March 25th. But from the news breaking March 26th to Pele's death on 12/29, and not to mention we mentioned all week why he might very well die on that day. I said if he doesn't die on Christmas, the next day to watch is the 83 date numerology on 12/29, because football and murder's 83 and it's his 68th day of his age. Like Brazil's 68, and again the next World Cup in 2026 will be 68 years after Pele won his first World Cup in 58. So it's a pretty good sign for Brazil in the next one, just like how Maradona's death showed us that Argentina would win this one. Pele's death, who's connected to Neymar, which we covered yesterday, is looking like Brazil's got the next one. Anyhow, shout out to Script Unveiled, who really uncovered how much 144 was also in the ritual of Argentina just winning this World Cup. Again, 144 is another huge number with the Jesuits. But from Pele's brother's death news to the news of Pele's death, exactly 144 weeks. And of course, Jesuit order is 144. Just like time is 144, 144 has a square root of 12, 12 hours in the morning, 12 hours in the evening, 12 zodiac, 12 months. These are numbers related to time. These are rituals in time. And we started by talking about how time equals 47 with the alphabetic order, which is true. In Jewish gematria, time equals 144. So Pele's brother dead 144 weeks before his bigger brother, the Star. And keep in mind, his brother died on March 25th, the 84th day of the year. Jesuit 84, the Jesuit order also 84, the Catholic Church 84. And that date, March 25th, can also be written 25/3, like 253, which is the 22nd triangular number, like 22 men on the football field. Of course, Pele dies at the end of 22, the year 2022. Again, the language, English, the calendar, they're both credited to the Catholic Church. They're both established as they are now in the 16th century after the Jesuits. It shouldn't be hard to see who's doing this, especially when the same numbers are coded over and over, paying tribute to the Jesuits. The same Catholic Church that wanted to dominate the world, that now has everybody on its time, speaking its language, participating in its rituals. That church that wanted to control people financially. I mean, you think about when you realize the church is really controlling the governments of the world, which is the taxation, how much money is being made at Christmas time, which has been made into a consumer holiday, off all the taxes. I'm tempted to call the Moscow Police Department again, but we know they're not going to call back. I did leave him a good call, though, about a month back, if you guys missed that stream. So we broke it all down, from King Charles to Jack the Ripper. Again, here's the other thing about the King Charles thing, you guys. King Charles III, gematria of 134. These killings came 134 years after the anniversary of Jack the Ripper's last killing. And Jack the Ripper's last killing was on November 9th, 4 days before the 4 students were killed. Of course, 4 is associated with death. Again, in Mandarin, Chinese, and in Japanese, you pronounce the number 4 the same as death. But again, one of the clues in this story was that the women called a guy named Jack 10 times before the murder. And again, Jack the Ripper's last killing was a woman who was leaving the 10 Bells pub. And they said these women were out partying last night, or late that night before drinks. Or they were out partying late at night out at the clubs and whatnot, which is typical for college students. But yeah, what a joke. What a joke. 47 days later. All right, let me check in with the chat real quick. I see somebody got generous because there's some super chats. Let me say thank you to the super chatters and let me check in with the chat. Those super chats I missed, maybe somebody had a good observation. Give me 1 second while I pull it up. If you guys don't know my MO, I don't really look at the chat when I'm presenting until I'm done presenting, and then I'll come look at the chat. Let's see. Well, Truth Slay donated $19.99. I appreciate it, and said, thanks for the daily news updates. You're very welcome. I appreciate your generosity. And now my eyes are on the chat. Does anybody else have an observation? Yeah, 7 is the 4th prime number. That is the relationship with 7 and 4 through mathematics. 74, the killing number. 47, the reflection. Your question about the 2024 Olympics in Brazil, not sure about that, but because again, the number's 68, right? So the next World Cup's 68 years after Pele won his first. Brazil 68, dead on his 68th day of his age. Phantom Broken says, can I call in? Yeah, here, I want to be off in about 10 minutes, but Phantom Broken wants to call in. Let me open the line for Phantom Broken. And okay. All right, Phantom Broken, the line is open for you. I assume you know the number. Charmed One just put the number in the chat. I'll put the number up here if it helps. But yeah, if you guys could please not call in and let Phantom Broken phone in since he's the one who asked. And then if his call's quick enough, we can take a few more calls. Yeah, I noticed that first World Cup that Brazil won too, it also began on June 8th. It began on 6/8. Or not the first one that they won, but the first one they won with Pele in 58. It began on 6/8. Is this Phantom Broken?
Yep, it's me.
All right, what's up?
I want to talk about this is related with the Andrew Tate situation, and I know you had a debate with this guy. His name is Gary's the Number Guy.
Yeah, who's a total shill.
Yeah, the reason why I want to bring him up because supposedly, he has connections with Andrew Tate.
Which would make sense because he gets to go on TV and is a total shill and is no doubt part of the army of trolls that harass me 24/7, 365.
The reason why I want to bring him up because I know that people accuse you of being like an agent, all that type of stuff. And like if you go on his Twitter, right, he has like a lot of things saying like how Donald Trump knows him, Putin knows him, Obama knows him. So he's definitely with the get down. He's definitely in those.
Again, here, let's just stop. Here, for people who don't know, Gary the Numbers Guy used to call into my Wednesday night TFR show every week and try to start some mess, and he kept embarrassing himself because he kept saying my pick would be wrong and his would be right, and I kept being right. And then he called him one time saying Gematria was stupid. Well, we dug up that so Gary the Numbers Guy, you guys have to understand, he's Jewish, right? So he comes from the Kabbalistic connections. He actually posted a video on YouTube about Gematria before I even knew about it. It was like from 2011 or 2012, and he showed why the word casino breaks down to 7 in Gematria, and he showed how 7's actually a curse, and they know that everybody who comes in there praying for those 7's is actually cursing themselves in Jewish numerology. So when I found that out, he called in a TFR and I brought up the video. I said, what about this video that you posted all these years ago? He never called back in again after that because he'd already humiliated himself too many times. But again, for people who don't know Gary the Numbers Guy, he charged $5,000 and made you sign an NDA for what I taught for free for 5 years. And now I only charge $5 a month. So I put a major dent in his business and his scam. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the trolls who harass me every day work for the same network of you-know-who's that Gary the Numbers Goon is a part of. So, anyway.
Yeah, I just want to bring that up because, I just sensed something weird about him and stuff.
But do we even really need to bring him up? Why, honestly, man, why even call into my platform? Because all you're doing is putting his name out there, which is just good for him, and this isn't somebody that anyone needs to even talk about. I mean, Gary the Numbers Guy already got ruined by me back in 2016 when he exited off the stage after embarrassing himself 10 straight times.
Yeah, that's all I want to say, Zach. I don't know. But, yeah, the reason why I just want to bring him up because he has some connections with Andrew Tate, and I just kind of found that a little bit strange. So.
Well, I again, that doesn't surprise me at all because he's part of it. It's the same reason he got to go on TV. They brought him on TV to gloat about the only thing that Gary's predicted, right, that I'm aware of in all the years I've been here was the 2016 NBA Finals, which I put out before him. And the only people who got the information from him were people who paid $5,000 and signed an NDA. I helped probably 1 million people in the world hit 40-1 when I said LeBron's coming back to win on the real King James' birthday. So, and for all I know, Gary was following me since he was so busy hating and being wrong about everything else at that same period of time.
Yeah, and also I noticed like how you and Gary both were aware of this knowledge since when 9/11 happened, right?
I wasn't aware of it when 9/11 happened. No, hold on. I was not aware of this knowledge when 9/11 happened. He might have been aware. I figured this out finally just looking for the answer in 2013. It took me a long. I wish I knew about this when 9/11 happened.
Yeah, I just want to. That's all I have to say, man. I'm sorry if I had to bring it up. I was just like a little bit curious on what your thought about it because I know that. I heard about the conversation you had with him back in, I think 2017 with the TFR live you had.
Here's all you got to say about Gary the Numbers Guy. Gary the Numbers Guy had to pick about 10 teams the year of the 2016 World Series. He had to keep taking a mulligan. He missed on every team in the playoffs. And then finally when the World Series was set, he said the Indians will beat the Cubs. Now remember, I guaranteed the Cubs would win the World Series in spring training. I never had to come off it. Of course, the Cubs beat the Indians. And then what does Gary do? Gary launches a website 2 days later called Gematria Fraud with my face on it. It's just wow, you're going to launch a website called Me a Fraud after you just missed on every single pick you had? And not to mention, I said it before the postseason was even set, and once the biggest ritual happened, I said, okay, Cubs are going to beat the Indians in Game 7 on November 2nd, which is exactly what happened. Again, helping people pad the pockets. Gary lost all kinds of people all kinds of money. And then he has the nerve to launch a website called Gematria Number Fraud or whatever it was. I mean, and again, there's a reason that his kind have been kicked out of literally every country on the planet. So anyhow, that's all I got to say about Gary the Numbers Goon.
Well, that's all right, Zach. I think I'm going to get off, but thank you, man.
All right, later. 217.
Hey, it's Randy from Illinois. How you doing?
What's up, Randy?
Hey, so do you think that the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl this year? You had them earlier, and
I never had the Packers to win the Super Bowl.
Okay, so I misunderstood. I've been watching. I'm on your Gematria.
I did say in the offseason, I said if Rodgers ended up on the Steelers or Broncos, that could be a Super Bowl narrative, but he didn't switch teams because Rodgers equals 103, Steelers is 103 and Broncos is 103 for the 103rd season, but that never happened.
You are correct. Okay, all right, so I misunderstood, but there's still a play for that, possibly. You think that's
it would be a great story. It would be a great comeback story in the 103rd season. I mean, I'm not going to say that they don't have a shot, but that's not really the team I've been looking at for the Super Bowl. So, do they sneak into the playoffs? We'll be looking at it. Yeah, and again, that's why I do the Patreon sports live streams. That's where we talk about futures and picks. This is a public stream, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Later.
I don't want to get.
Yeah. Okay. Probably also a troll. So. Anyway. Exactly. Why are we calling in lying? It's probably a troll, man. I mean, that's the thing. Just calls in and says something false, and then probably also knows that, we don't do sports picks on the public live stream. It's just annoying. All right. Anyway, I do got a lot of work to do, again, like always, and just want to come on and cover the morning headlines, the latest. What is 47? If Tucker Carlson was real, he'd be talking about what is 47. You know why he won't? Because it would expose him too. His social media. What's this thing called? Truth Social? Hold on. Look at this. Trump posts on Truth Social days after Twitter takeover. I'm back. Look at this. I mean, just all this crap, you guys. These people are the biggest puppets. You're going to be in the 47-story Midtown Hilton Hotel tonight because we're going to shock the nation. Remember, that's what they did when they put him in 2016. Do you remember Fox News' coverage before? They said all the polling shows that Trump has pretty much no chance tonight. It's going to take an absolute miracle for him to win. Next thing you know, on the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, when it equals 45, your new 45th president-elect who ran on building a wall, who took Ronald Reagan's campaign slogan, Make America Great Again, but then did the exact opposite. Instead of tear down that wall, it's build that wall. And now we've spent how much money on a wall, and we have more people flooding across the border than ever? You don't think all this stuff's just meant to fuck with you every day? You don't realize that? How many billions did Trump spend on building a wall, and now we have more people flooding across than ever? Oh, but that's Joe Biden. Yeah, you guys aren't getting it, man. This is all part of the puppet show. This is all part of the fleecing of the country. And by the way, I feel like we just need to let everybody in the country because everyone's short staffed. Like, I can't get tires on because nobody has any workers. They can't deliver the mail to my house because they're short so many employees. I think we're not letting enough people in the country because apparently there's not enough people here to keep the country afloat. Restaurants short staffed, hospitals short staffed, tires, everywhere I've been lately, they don't have enough staff. Sorry, man, we're like scheduling 8 months out from now to get body work done on the car. A car accident in the beginning of November, can't get in the body shop until May? Oh my God. Open up the border and let everyone in. Not to mention those people from down south, they're usually a lot friendlier and better at their job anyway. So, I say let them all in. Stop building walls and wasting taxpayer money. Hold on, Switzerland wants to call in one more time. I'll take one more call and then I'll wrap it up. Switzerland? Switzerland.
Hey there. Hey Doug, this is me again.
Yes, of course it is. Who else is calling from Switzerland? Yeah, what's going on?
Yes, calling from Switzerland. Hey, I'm really doing really fine. I want to ask you again about this the numbers you gave you yesterday with the 23rd of January that we had the 33rd day of the war. Have you researched it?
I haven't had a chance to do any more research yet on what could go down. You're talking about May 14th, Israel's 75th birthday, right?
Yes, right.
I am going to look at it more. I just haven't had a chance yet.
Okay. What do you think will be the after in Ukraine? Like it's synchronizing with death. With the only word I know is death. Like is this true? Like Holy Grail.
Yeah. I don't have the answers right now, but I will look into it more because that is a topic I plan to investigate. You already did some really good digging on that, and yeah, no doubt something is going to happen right around that time.
I want to tell you one more thing, please. This is really important. The day 77, right, the day of the crash of the plane, was exactly 101 days after the establishment of Donetsk Republic, and Donetsk equals to 1001.
I see. Huh.
Yeah. And also Russian equals to 101.
Okay.
Yeah, this is really important hint. And the Donetsk Republic was made on 7th of April, so like 74 or 47, right?
Okay. Yeah, you've already done some. Are you posting your information somewhere?
No, I'm searching from myself.
I would appreciate it if you use the website that I'm paying for every month so that people can post helpful, useful information like that. freetofindtruth.com. If you want to post it on there, it'll definitely stay up. So.
Okay. I will try it. Hey, why do you don't have any community on Telegram? Telegram is the best community for Gematria. You cannot be banned there.
Well, I've heard that before. I haven't taken the time to check out Telegram, but maybe I need to do that. So, are you posting this on Telegram?
Yeah, I'm using Telegram for Gematria Shield, and it's working really, really well, basically.
Okay. Okay. I'll have to check out Telegram.
Yes, please do it. This is a really nice social method to show some things like this, basically. Okay, but I'm really happy I can call you again. You know, you're really a nice guy. Thank you so much for your work. I pay you money also because this thing can change the world. Like, I mean, you are genius. You are genius. Like, thank you for your work. Really. Okay, bye.
All right.
Bye then.
Appreciate it.
And till the next time.
All right. Thank you, friend. Keep it up. Take care. All right. Every time I go on, every time I just see this guy leaving some mopey message, adios, buddy. He also likes to post. He's probably a troll, but he's adios. But yeah, this website, people are sharing information here, and it archives all your posts. You can connect with people, see who's in your local area, and it would be nice if we got more people using it and networking and working together. But yeah, we try to keep out the trolls. That guy, I've decided, is definitely a troll. So yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'll have to check out Telegram too. So we'll leave it there for now. Yeah, he's blocked. I mean, he's always leaving some loser comment, and he also often writes, "I'm Jewish." I don't even know if he's really Jewish. That could just be what the trolls are doing, or maybe he is. Who knows? So is Gary the Numbers guy. I have a feeling if we could find out who the anonymous loser is that slanders me every day, I'd bet a good sum of money that he's also part of the circumcised tribe. So anyway. Tate's dad was in the CIA, and let's not forget the CIA. So again, just the whole 201 ritual of Tate, that makes sense, right? Because Central Intelligence Agency, United States of America, the words in the logo equal 201. The CIA was established on the 201st day of the Pope's age. Hold on, I got to look that up before we go off. Is there information about that? Andrew Tate's father, CIA. EV Magazine. All right, there's an article about it there. Reddit has an article about it. Seeing if any mainstreams covered this. Here comes the calls from No Caller ID. I'd imagine they're also from the same tribe. Well, there's people who are saying that his father worked for the CIA. It would not surprise me at all. But here, for the person who's new here, CIA motto, check this out. The work of a nation, the center of intelligence. Look at this. Guess what it equals? Guess what it equals? (201) when you run it in reverse with numerology. When you run it forwards, Central Intelligence Agency, United States of America, the exact words in the logo, 201, and it was established on the 201st day of the Pope's age, September 18th, 1947. 47. And here, I think if you search CIA 201 on my website, it'll pull up the post. There's a few of them. Jeffrey Epstein, another CIA 201 agent. There's actually multiple posts on this on my site, but here, there's one that actually shows. Don't forget the former CIA officer that went on the Alex Jones show was announced dead in the news 201 days from Alex Jones's birthday. But here we go. Pope Pius XII, born March 2nd, CIA established September 18th, 47, the 201st day of his age. How about that? National intelligence, like the Jesuit order, CIA, Catholics in action. All right, we'll take one more call. Last call. You get it, Toronto. What is it?
Hey, yeah, just really quickly, just wanted to say that
Andrew Tate, like he's been like he's been saying on video himself that like he owns like a webcam service like for girls and stuff like that, and he has like a casino. So like I mean I don't know how people didn't put this together. Like he's some kind of shady dude. Just because he talks good doesn't mean he's like a good dude, right? Like,
you know what? It's funny that you say that because last night. Sweet lady put on a movie that's like one of the top trending movies on Netflix, and we only watched like maybe the first 10 minutes and turned it off and just went to bed. But it begins with like there's going to be a police bust at like this house that just has all these girls in these tiny little rooms on webcam, like some kind of sexy girl webcam chat house, but it's some kind of illegal operation, and they find out the police are coming, so they just kill all the women in the house. It's funny that that's like the trending thing on Netflix right now. I think it's one of the new movies. And then you're telling me that this is also part of what Andrew Tate's doing. That's why I don't think any of this stuff's an accident. I think like it's all like just part of the scripted mind control. Because then you're watching that movie and you're like, wait a minute, that's like what Andrew Tate's doing. And
I mean, 100%. Because like if you look at Tate, like Andrew Tate came out of pretty much out of nowhere, and then he became like one of the most popular dudes on the internet. And all these kids like started like praising him pretty much as a god or whatever. And then now that this happened, it's like it messes with all those kids that are trying to like fight the system in a sense. And it's like you're saying earlier in the stream, it's like those guys are the bad guys, even though they're trying to push what the agenda is like actually is, even though they're still part of it.
Right. That's how they love to do it, because that's exactly how they demonize the truth. It's just like Adolf Hitler. His real name is Adolphus Hitler, 201, backed by the Catholic Church and the Jesuits, and likely escaped his fake suicide where his body was never found off to Jesuit Argentina. But again, Adolf Hitler, if you actually go back and listen to what he said a lot of things that are 1,000,000% true, but then he goes down as the most evil man in history, so anything associated with that is like, well, that's what an evil guy said. So...
Right, and then if you follow the money, like with Adolf Hitler too, like you find out like he was sponsored by the Jews, like Bill Gates' father and Klaus Schwab's father, just like two people out of the probably 100 people that like he was sponsored by, and it's like those people are like on top of the world now. So I mean, anyways, that's where
Exactly. And it's just like Trump. Even though I can't stand Trump, he says a lot of things that are 1,000,000% true, but a lot of people see him as the villain for other parts of him. And again, he's another Jesuit puppet. This is why they do what they do, and this is how they keep people fighting amongst themselves instead of seeing clearly what's really going on in the world and what needs to be dealt with, which is this Jesuit apparatus that's running the world. So, appreciate it.
Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, you're welcome. Take care. All right, so... does anybody in the chat have more information on who his dad is? I want to look up his dad because, again, I'm seeing a Reddit post, I'm seeing Twitter posts, I'm seeing YouTube videos, but who's his dad? And again, just because it's not in the mainstream media doesn't mean it's not true. I mean, the mainstream media is run by the same Jesuit CIA, so they probably don't want any headline stories about that for their latest poster boy, who, again, came out of nowhere. These people just come out of nowhere. Zach, what do you... I just, like, I always get annoyed when people are like in my comments, Zach, what do you think about Andrew Tate? He's saying a lot of shit. That's like, you guys, why do you not know what I'm already going to say? If it's being promoted on Tucker Carlson and in the mainstream and you're getting to go on Fox News and all these news networks and everyone's got headlines about you, you're not legit. The media doesn't promote anything legit. All right, I did say I'm going to get off, but maybe I'll take one more call in case somebody's got the Andrew Tate father. Arlington, Texas.
Hey, what's up, Zach? Yeah, so I was looking at Andrew Tate's dad the other day. He died at 56 years, 42 weeks exactly, which I thought was kind of interesting. He's a grandmaster chess player.
All right, let's just stop right there. Dead at 56, worked for the CIA, Society of Jesus 56, Washington, D.C. 56, everything about COVID, where everyone is the face of it, as a Jesuit, is 56. He's arrested in Bucharest, which is 56. Okay.
Yeah, and his last state championship for Indiana was September 30th, 2007, and he died exactly 420 weeks later, so that was another 42.
I see.
And I wanted to add a couple things about the Idaho murders, too.
Okay.
Yeah, so the morning of, the Pope posted, I think it's called the Angelus on the website, the Vatican's website, and he quoted Dostoevsky, who's born in Moscow, Russia. He quoted him for whatever reason, and he also quoted Acts 1:12. 1:12 or 2:11 are the Jesuit Catholic numbers, but also the chapter in the Bible is chapter 1019, and that's 119, 11:9, like Vatican, Francis, and even James Fry, the police chief, is 119 and 47.
Fraternal Order of Police begins 119, like All Seeing Eye, which is part of their logo, which is Masonic symbolism. Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, the same day, the morning of, the Pope quoted, Acts 1, chapter 1019, and it's Acts 1:12, and Dostoevsky, he quoted him, and Dostoevsky is a Russian writer, I believe, but he was born in Moscow, Russia. And not to mention, all the 66 symbolism, 66 days since the Queen died. The 66 prime number, the day of, is 317. And of course the house number 1122. So it's like, yeah, it's just full. That's like one of the most extreme examples I've seen just in the short amount of time I've been doing this.
Well, really good research. Are you posting your stuff somewhere?
Yeah, I'm God's Node on
oh yeah.
We follow each other.
Yeah, you're on Twitter. Yeah, you do a good job. Okay. Very cool.
But yeah, that's it for me.
All right, appreciate it. Keep it up.
All right.
All right, later. His Wikipedia page doesn't say anything about CIA, does it? Yeah, his Wikipedia page does not mention that he's CIA, but that doesn't mean he's not CIA. All right, hold on. We got another call. Vancouver, BC.
Hey man, I just have a few questions about Tate.
You have a few questions about Tate?
I found him on YouTube. Yeah, like Andrew.
Okay.
Like I found his channel on YouTube when he had like 30,000 subs, like 3 years ago and shit, and he was making videos back then. Do you think like since then he was working with them? Because I remember back then he was making videos saying I'm being shadow banned, like making the exact same type of videos as right now, like 3-4 years ago.
Well, I mean, they might have been building his profile for the moment that he was elevated to the big scene where he went super viral, just to set up this little end of the year special where then they shame his character so that all the people who, because I mean, you can just imagine how it is in homes that are divided. People who've been listening to Andrew Tate, they're like, oh, look at your Andrew Tate guy now, rapist, sex trafficker. I mean, that's why they do what they do.
Yeah, I see the things you're saying too as well about like he says some truths and then the rest is like bullshit. Like that's what I see as well.
Yeah, and again, he's telling people that to exit the Matrix, you want to make a lot of money. I mean, the money's what makes the Matrix. So.
No, he's literally, his course is like, sure, like the ideas are good, bro, but if you pay the $50 for his course, like it's like pretty much bullshit. You can use your brain and like make the money yourself. You don't
sure.
have to pay like him $50. Make
sure.
Like $5 million a month.
Exactly.
$5 million.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And again, he's making that much money because he got promoted on the big screen, and I guarantee you he doesn't get to take all that money. I guarantee his handlers take a huge cut of it. So.
But one thing, what was that guy's name? Chris Tucker, or the TV guy? Who was his name? That Andrew Tate was on.
Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson. He's not on TV anymore, right? Like he was on his YouTube show.
Are you talking about Tucker Carlson?
That guy. Yeah.
Tucker Carlson's on Fox News every night at primetime.
The British. I forgot his name.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson's on Fox News every night primetime.
What about the British guy, though?
British guy?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what British guy you're referring to. Oh, you're talking about Andy No? I'm just talking about how Andy No was on Tucker Carlson's show the other night, how he brings on all these stooges.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Think about another guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, it just makes me sick that, because, so I announced that I was going to the Portland Pals a week in advance, which I did go down and gave out free copies of my book, and Antifa was there, and I got bear-maced in the face, and Andy No has some recording team there, literally, who captured that, and then put that on their website right away to promote their own platform and book, and said it was a brawl over his book. It didn't have anything to do with him. But I'm like, look at this guy. He gets to go on all the news media, and then he has to use me getting bear-maced in the face to promote his own brand. That's how big of a goon this guy is. So, and then he gets to go on Fox News. Like, that's the kind of guy that Tucker Carlson's promoting. And I'm trying to explain to people, if it was real, you guys, I'd be on Tucker Carlson. If they were really about promoting people with real information to further the world and end all this stuff that Tucker Carlson pretends to be that he's against when he's not against any of it. He just is another pawn in the system that benefits from it. You'd hear from me. I'd be on Fox News as a regular guest rather than someone like Tulsi Gabbard or Andy No or even Andrew Tate. And where did Andrew Tate come from? I mean, what resume does he have established? I mean, please. So people need to wake up.
Yeah. The information he says is like some bullshit too. Like, I mean, he says he's with like casinos, like in industries that like involve organized crime, like mafia. So who the fuck knows like what this guy's doing?
Okay, well, I appreciate that information and appreciate the call. Thank you.
Before I go, bro, one question. You got any plans to come like Vancouver or anything? Like do any events in that area?
I have to look into if you can come into Vancouver now without being vaccinated. I used to go up to Vancouver fairly often, but through the whole COVID thing, I don't go up there anymore. So I'll look into that, though. I wouldn't mind coming to Vancouver. I like Vancouver a lot, and it's a reasonable drive for me. I'm on Washington State, so it's not too far away.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty close.
All right, I'll look into if I can cross the border without being jabbed up, because I actually wouldn't mind coming back up there. So.
All right, man.
All right. Yeah, take care.
Take care. Have a good day.
Yeah, see you.
All right, see you.
We're getting calls galore right now. I do need to get off, though. All right, last call. I swear to God, I'm not taking any more calls after this. So don't even call in. 252, you're the last caller.
All right, yeah, what up, Zach? So look, you remember, I don't know if you remember one time you mentioned how these people got to kind of tell you in these subtle ways, like what they're doing, and it was like it's claiming retribution and all that. So there was a clip that went viral of Andrew Tate during the Balenciaga scandal of him breaking that whole like lesson down, like saying like oh, this is what the Satanists believe, this and that. So my question is, do you think they let they let some of this shit, like this whole Gematria shit, all of this shit, do they let some of this shit seep out so that they can use it as a way to kind of tell people, like they're kind of like, oh, we told you, like the information's out there, you just didn't go find it. So they believe they're not responsible for their consequences, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know that Andrew Tate put out that clip, and what he said has been said a million different times before by a million different people, and I think there is an element of truth to that, because they do put the truth out there sometimes, like right in front of your face, and almost expecting like you're not even going to blink an eye and not even notice it. It's just like when the day that they were showing Brittany Griner was supposedly in custody in Russia, and they put out a picture in the mainstream media of her next to two guards who are wearing Ukrainian patches. It's like, well, wait a minute, I thought she was in Russia. Those are Ukraine flags. So.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, what the fuck? And when you show those pictures, when you look at the pictures of like the cops around them, the shit looks like a fucking Hollywood scene. I mean,
exactly.
They don't none of them they're all looking at the camera like, go ahead, take a fucking picture type shit. Like, they're not even, you know what I mean? They're not in the action of anything, of doing fucking anything.
Yeah, and why are all the cops' faces so covered so you can't make out who they are? I mean.
Yeah, it just looks fucking stupid, and he looks like, yeah, go ahead, get this fucking shit over with. Like, yeah, it's all fucking stupid as hell. And I mean, just regards to it being in Romania, the Holy Roman Empire is 201, and all the other shit, man. But yeah.
Exactly. So, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, take care. I have to do more information, look into more on his dad being in the CIA. It's, because I see the accusations out there, and it's entirely possible, and it would make a lot more sense, because, again, the CIA is about as big as 201 as you can get, and like we were just saying, this whole thing's a big 201 ritual just to go with all the other 201 news on 1229. But yeah, you guys, that's the real reason that they would never put me on the mainstream. You start teaching people what's actually going on, they don't need the Andrew Tates of the world to come on and teach them each day. That they figure it out and then they see it themselves. Oh, I know what 47 is. I know why they're doing another 2. I know why everything's 201 on this day. So they don't want the people in the world to know what's going on. They want them constantly relying on their new celebrity figure they propped up to be their savior, their guiding force, whether it's Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Andrew Tate. And I mean, you look, who Elon Musk is doing retweets for Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate's doing retweets for Elon Musk. You can just follow these guys. Every time they're doing a headline, it's another big Jesuit ritual. You can see who controls their puppet strings. I mean, it's undeniable. So, all right, we'll leave it there, you guys. Have a great rest of your day. If you got here late, you might want to rewind the stream and watch from the beginning. That's where I put all the information, and then we started taking calls. All right. Somebody in the chat says he's cuffed. It's real. Oh man, yeah. You must think every damn thing that happens in the movie is real. You put a pair of handcuffs on somebody in a movie, it must be a real arrest. You can't beat these trolls with the logic. My goodness. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. Until next time.